What is up, people? It is Mixmaster58. Welcome back to another video review, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Mixmaster, the final of the 6 Constructicons that we need to complete our new Studio Series 86 Devastator, which, keep in mind, my next review will be on Devastator as a whole, so I'll show you how to combine all the Constructicons, transform them into their combined modes, combine them all, and then I'll give you an overview of Devastator, compare them alongside a bunch of other figures. The usual stuff when it comes to a big review like that, and so I hope you guys look forward to that. But right now we're going to take a look at the final Constructicon that we need to complete the entire set, which is the cement truck himself, Mixmaster. So taking a look at the box here, you can see the very nice Transformers the movie right down there. See the nice Constructicon Mixmaster, the Transformers logo with the Studio Series right there. You obviously have that 5 of 5, even though it's technically 6 of 6 because the way that they numbered them there. But then you see some nice artwork here of Mixmaster in his robot mode as well as in his cement truck mode. Got some more nice stuff here. Transformers Studio Series, the Voyager class right there on the side. Got nice artwork of Devastator, and I cannot wait to show this off to you guys. And finally, your obligatory product shots on the back. Very much the similar artwork for, or screen cap from the 86 movie that we've seen with most of these Constructicons, and then obviously your obligatory product shots, Transformers in 15 steps. And so, when it comes to the packaging, I think Hasbro's been doing a great job with it, folks, and so without further ado, alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Mixmaster out of the box and in his cement truck mode. And I gotta say, guys, this guy looks really, really good. His vehicle mode looks fantastic, and I think when we're talking about the best of these new Constructicons, this guy is probably up there with the best, if not the top 3, top 2. This guy's really, really good, and I really do like how this guy looks, both in his robot mode and his vehicle mode. But taking a look here, you can see the gun stores right here. It's not the best vehicle mode storage, but it could be way worse. And taking a look at the gun here, very accurate to how it was in the original show. Looks really, really solid here. So very, very nice on that. And obviously very similar to the other Constructicons, just more or less a unique shape and stuff like that to match Mixmaster and everything like that. So we're just going to take this, set this off to the side, and take a look at the actual truck mode. You can see the very nice silver for the grille on the front. Not painted headlights, but still looks good. You can see that Decepticon logo right there as well. Looks really, really good. More silver down here for the front bumper. Nice silver for the wheels. This guy rolls relatively well as well. Like, he looks really, he feels really good in that end. And then you can see all this nice detail. You see where, like a little bit of step ladder would be, the door molded in there, the nice purple windows as well here on the front, here on the other, parts of the doors. See the nice, cement barrel here, painted in purple as well. Overall, when it comes to this guy, he looks really, really good. I do like the wheels, they're the dark gray with the silver rims. I'm just really, really happy with how this guy looks overall. And then you have obviously the cement bucket right there as well. Just taking a look at this overall, like, it is a very, very clean cement truck mode. Even on the bottom here, you can't really tell unless you're looking at these that this guy even is a Transformer, and that makes me really happy. He's really, really well done, very clean figure all around, and I'm really happy with it. Now, am I going to show you guys the combined mode in this video? No, because they don't, I believe they don't show it to you on these instructions right here, so we will save that for the Devastator video. And at the end of the day, even if they did show it on these instructions, I probably wouldn't have shown it to you anyway, because the next review is the Devastator anyway, so I think you guys can wait one more video, and I really hope to make that video pretty solid for you guys. But yeah, overall, when it comes to this truck mode, very, very happy with it, so no complaints really for me on this side. Maybe just the vehicle mode storage, but other than that, I mean, weapon storage. But as we know with Transformers, 90% of Transformers weapon storage is terrible. It just doesn't look good. But this guy actually has pretty okay weapon storage. Not the best, not the worst. So we're going to use our size comparisons. Now, what I'm going to do is I would bring in a lot more figures than this, but because there's so many figures to bring in, this review is going to take so long to record already as is. I'm just going to mainly bring in Magnus, and then you'll see all of the other Constructicons, and we'll just leave it at that. So I hope you guys understand. I'll try and bring in some more figures for the full Devastator review, but for the most part, we're just going to do Magnus and then all of the other Constructicons so we can get the full Constructicon family photo when we get into the robot mode. Alrighty guys, here we have him with the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. Now the one thing you can tell about Mixmaster is his vehicle mode really isn't like huge. I mean, it's not that much bigger than Magnus at the end of the day, but there's a big density difference between this guy and this guy right here. So even though that from a size perspective, it may not look like Mixmaster has a lot of heft to him in comparison to a deluxe figure, like an average deluxe figure like this guy, he absolutely has this big heft to him. So when it comes to these size classes, at the end of the day, we are not necessarily going for size when it comes to the classes at this point, more like the engineering and stuff like that, and the weight, the plastic quality. That's what we're going for at this point. Alrighty, so we're just going to sort of rapid fire through all the Constructicons. Remember, these are all Studio Series 86, so I'll just basically say like X class this and the character name, right? And then we'll just go from there. So just rapid fire, just so this doesn't take super long. So here he is with Deluxe Class Bone Crusher, Deluxe Class Scavenger, the leader Voyager Class Scrapper, Voyager Class Hook, and finally Voyager Class Long Haul. And so when you're looking at all those sizes, I think these guys look really, really good together. And again, I'm not going to get the full family photo until we get them all into robot mode. And so because of that, let's get into Mixmaster's transformation, which is really, really simple. Like, this is a transformation that is not difficult at all. First thing I like to do, come here to the back. What you can do is you can flip this up. Then you can rotate the whole barrel in, and then what you'll see is that there's a tab right there and there's a tab hole right there. Just want to tab that back into place. Then from here, what I like to do, you can take what will become the arms, you can split them from the body, and then you can also fold this panel out to about halfway like so. Then you want to split the arms and then push them down like this. Then you can fold the entire chest down. Then finally we come down here to the legs. And the legs, you're going to want to accordion them sort of like this, straighten them out like that. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take these bottom panels and you want to fold them out. Then you want to fold these panels in like so. And then from here, what you're going to want to do is you want to fold these into place. You want to split these legs. And then what we can do from here is sort of straighten him out. And I'm not joking, you guys. Like, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studio Series 86 Mixmaster in his very good-looking robot mode. And yeah, like I told you, the transformation is very, very simple. It's actually more annoying to get him back into his cement truck mode rather than actually getting him into his robot mode. And you'll see why, it's particularly with his legs. But at the end of the day, this guy looks fantastic. So what I'm going to do is we're going to set this guy off to the side, and we're going to put a picture of Mixmaster as he appeared in the cartoon. And I got to say, guys, he looks really, really good. Like we're comparing it, one-to-one. For the most part, I mean, there's no real gripes. The only thing that's somewhat inaccurate are his legs, right? And you can obviously see that. But again, there's things you can do in the animation that you can't do when it comes to an actual physical toy. And so I think given what they had to work with here, at the end of the day, he is basically a perfect Mixmaster, and I really, really do like it. And again, I'll say this. The one thing he does suffer from is something very similar to Hook, and that is with his arms. His elbow placement seems really, really low, but that's just because he has to physically have two wheels on his shoulders. At the end of the day, on his arms, excuse me. These are shoulders. These are actual, arms. At the end of the day, I'm perfectly fine with it. It doesn't look in my opinion, it looks better than it does on Hook, but it still does look a bit weird to the normal eye. But we're going to grab him here, take a look at the details. You can see the head looks really, really good. Love the silver, love the face sculpt is so accurate. The eyes that are red, the nice, just a very, neutral face looks really, really good there as well. Nice detail here in the chest with the red. You can see some nice molded in detail on the chest right there, the black. Decepticon logo right above the crotch, then nice detail in the crotch section. Got some nice detail from the vehicle mode that just goes throughout. And I really do like that you have these heels. It just allows him to have more stability and everything like that. Come around here on the back, and you look at the side, too. I mean, look at the back. It's very, very clean. Like, sure, he has a backpack, but it's accurate, and it's not an egregious backpack whatsoever. This is one of those situations where even though he does have a backpack, it's just accurate. This is how he was in the show. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a cement truck. And so having his cement mixer on the back of the cement mixer barrel on the back of his body as his backpack really just kind of makes sense to me. That's how, most Transformers will go. Obviously, the one that we all can think about is the Mixmaster that they did for Revenge of the Fallen, and that was one of the most frustrating toys as a kid to ever deal with because they put his arms inside of the cement barrel, and that was one of the worst things ever. I literally for years I had that figure, and I could never figure out how to transform it as a kid. What I would do is I would literally rip off all of the cement panels, I would fold the arms correctly, and then just attach the panels to transform because I was so annoyed. Sorry when we went down a little rant there, but that was just one of the Mixmasters I remember, that they put the arms in the cement truck barrel, and it just made it so difficult to transform. But regardless, this guy looks really, really good. And then if you want to take the gun, very simply just peg it right in there. Like, there's no real crazy accessory integration. He looks great with it. And so, yeah, when it comes to Mixmaster's robot mode, I think he looks really, really good. Very accurate to the show. So, what we're going to do is we are going to be doing our size comparisons, and then we're going to do the full Constructicon family photo, which I'm excited to give to you guys because I didn't do that for the aerial bots, and I'm pissed at myself for not doing that. So we're going to do that here for the Constructicons, and you'll also see that eventually for the Combaticons. So, setting Mixmaster off to the side here. Alrighty, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United and Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. As you can see, being a Voyager class figure, he does have a bigger footprint in terms of his size in his robot mode when compared to a average deluxe figure, right? So at the end of the day, even though he is a bit smaller in his vehicle mode, he more than well makes up for it, in my opinion, in his robot mode. Alrighty, we're going to go with the same process that we did in the vehicle mode, and so here we have him with this Deluxe Class Bone Crusher, Deluxe Class Scavenger, Voyager Class Scrapper, Voyager Class Hook. Finally, here we have him with the Voyager Class Long Haul, and then you're going to see a nice family photo here in just a second. Alrighty, folks, and here we have the entire family photo. We have all of the Studio Series 86 Constructicons in their robot modes, and I gotta say, this is a fantastic looking squad. We'll get more into this when we talk about Devastator and Devastator's review and how I feel about the entirety of the set. But I'm really, really happy to have this, and I would not be surprised for those of you who weren't able to pick up these figures individually that they will eventually release a full box set of these guys, because they released a full box set of Menasor. I imagine they'll release eventually a full box set of the aerial bots as well, and so I would wholeheartedly eventually expect a full box set of the Studio Series 86 Constructicons, so definitely be on the lookout for something like that if you haven't been able to pick these guys up. But this looks really, really good, and I'm so happy to finally have Studio Series 86 Constructicons as a full set. Alrighty, folks, and it's time to get into the articulation, which is pretty solid, but at the end of the day, there are some compromises, and you can probably guess one of the compromises already given the other SS86 Constructicon reviews I've done. The big compromise, first off, is his head. His head actually is fine articulation-wise. It's grabbing it that's annoying because of how this is designed, because it's accurate to the show. It's really annoying to get him to swivel his head, but you can do a full 360. It's just really hard to do that, so I more or less just get him out to that far about, and if you try to do, yeah, it takes a lot more work because it's so hard to reach into his head, but you can get the full 360. It's on a ball joint, so you do get a little bit of wiggle waggle and up and down, but it's so hard to grab in that. Shoulders will go up and in, up like this, but they're a little inhibited here. Rotation at the shoulder, rotation at the upper part of the bicep, then you have about 90 at the elbow, and then you have no wrist articulation, which is annoying. But the other compromise, obviously, is the waist. There's no waist articulation. That's because the ankle joint for Devastator is sitting right there, because obviously Mixmaster is his left leg, or yes, left leg. For the legs, though, you can go forward and back, 90 degrees at the knee, rotation at the upper part of the thigh. Then you do some nice ankle rocker pivot, but yeah, he has okay articulation. It's just more or less compromised. It sucks because I think he's one of the best of the Constructicons, but because given the fact that he has to combine, they had to remove the waist joint, even though I still think that they could have worked it. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong in that. I love the Hasbro designers for the Transformers. It's just, yeah, it is a shame that he doesn't have a waist joint, and it's annoying to grab his head. But those are the biggest compromises. They're not terrible. You can still get him some good poses because you do have nice articulation everywhere else. It's just, yeah, those two spots, his head and his waist, are the biggest compromises here. Alrighty, folks, and it's time to get into his reverse transformation, which really isn't all that bad. It's, it's a little bit harder than getting him into his robot mode, and it's particularly in his legs. But at the end of the day, I am perfectly okay with doing it. It's not a hard transformation. It's just the legs are what you have to get used to. First things first, I like to remove the gun, and then you can straighten him all out. You can return the head back if you want, but it's covered anyway. So straighten out the arms, and then straighten out the legs. And straightening out the arms basically transforms them already. Come here to the back, and then you want to flip this up. Then you want to rotate the cement bucket around, and then you just want to re-tab it into place like so, just like that. Then from here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fold the front parts of essentially his shins out, like so. Then you want to, I like to tab everything together here because it just makes it easier to do this whole thing at once. Fold these out on his feet, like so. Then you can just sort of keep them like this. Then fold these panels in. And what you're going to want to do is, it's really funky. So you're going to want to do this, and then you're going to want to, you're going to want to do this. Essentially, the legs will also bend the other way, like this, and you want it so that you can rotate these up, and then basically you want these little pointy tabs to be up. You want them to be up like this, and you want to just push that in, and then what you'll see is that there are tabs. It's hard to see on the wheel. You can see that there are tabs in there that'll go into these tabs, and you just kind of squish that all together. Then from here, you want to come to the bottom, you want to fold the chest halfway, then you just want to collapse the arms back like so. like this. And then what you're going to want to do is you'll see that there are tabs right there on the side of the truck on either side, and you want to tab them into these little grooves right here, right under the fists. So you just tab them in like so. Like that. And then what you'll see is that there are 2 tabs right there, and that there are 2 tab holes, and then you just want to tab that all into place. Then all you got to do with these panels is just fold them down, set this guy down, put the gun here to do that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studio Series 86 Voyager class Mixmaster back in his cement truck mode. And so, guys, for my final and concluding thoughts on the Transformers Studio Series 86 Constructicon Mixmaster, this guy's a really good figure, in my opinion, and he is probably the best of the Constructicons. He's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he really represents his on-screen character from the cartoon very, very well. And so, when it comes to the bad things about him, it's mainly the articulation. They had to compromise mainly the waist articulation, just like they did with Scrapper, and also with freaking Long Haul as well, and a good amount of the other Constructicons like Bone Crusher as well, to obviously, you know, compromise for the ankle articulation for Devastator as a whole. Now, that is a bit of a shame because his articulation otherwise is pretty solid, besides the head. Just getting into trying to turn his head is really annoying. But other than that, though, I mean, the robot mode looks very accurate. I think that when you're comparing it to the cartoon, looks really, really good. And just like the other Constructicons, what I really like about this figure is the paint is much more accurate, the plastic quality is much more accurate, he feels dense, he feels better than the Deluxe, despite in vehicle mode feeling more like a Deluxe in terms of the size. He definitely feels like a Voyager in terms of the weight and the density of the figure. In addition to that, I also really like all the paint detail in both modes. I really like the silver. The purple looks really good. The molded in detail on the green is very nice, even though it's hard to see some of the detail because he's all mostly this bright freaking green. At the end of the day, this is a really, really solid figure with compromises, but at the end of the day, they're not terrible compromises. You can still get him in some solid poses. He looks great in both modes, and he feels really, really solid in terms of the quality as well as the joints and everything like that. He feels really, really good. Transformation wise, very, very simple, going both from robot to vehicle and vehicle to robot. Harder part is going from robot to vehicle, in my opinion, because you have to get used to those legs, because those leg joints are pretty tight. But other than that, I am really, really happy with the Mixmaster. And so out of a 10, I'm going to give this guy an 8. He's not perfect, not the worst figure by any stretch of the imagination. And when we're ranking the Constructicons from this new Series 86 line, I really think that he ranks up as at least the top 3, if not number 1, because he's really, really good. And so, would I recommend this figure? Absolutely. We're getting a new Studio Series 86 Devastator. In my opinion, it's already, I'm going to tell you this right now, it's infinitely better than the Combiner Wars one. The Combiner Wars one just feels miles behind when you're comparing it to this guy, this new Studio Series 86 Devastator. And so I would wholeheartedly recommend you pick this guy up and all the other Constructicons while you can. Again, like I said, they're going to release a box set for this more than likely, so you can be on the lookout for that, but I wouldn't say that it would be a bad idea to pick them up individually, especially when you're considering if you don't want to buy all of them at once, you can at least buy like 1 or 2 of them at a time, so you have to worry about them because they're pretty readily available. I've seen a bunch in store, I've seen a bunch online, so don't be afraid to just look online. I'm sure you'll be able to find a retailer that has them. And speaking of retailers, I did pick mine up on the Big Bad Toy Store, so leave a link in the description to that. Also leave links down below to Amazon as well as Hasbro Pulse if you guys wish to use those retailers to pick this guy up instead of the Big Bad Toy Store. And if you're deciding to hunt IRL, I definitely wish you the best of luck in doing so. And so that's really it for the review. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and also follow me on those socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, and once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.